So the next question is kind of related. Buzzfry says, hey, SM team, I've been using outranking.io and it's producing way better results than any other tools I have. I totally agree. It is by far the best tool for, that's why I said for Content Kings, our content business, that is we lean heaviest on that. We also, like I said, we use a number of other tools still, like phrase.io. We also still use Surfer, Writer's End. So we do use a number of other tools, but we lean the heaviest on outranking. There's no question. It's a great tool. He says, Bradley, I'm interested in seeing your process for using the tool. Do you have it documented in Flowster? No, I don't. Well, I do. Yes, I do. My SOPs were from many versions of it ago, from last year, because last year I spent 4 or 5 months doing a ton of on-page optimization across a whole bunch of my own lead gen assets, because I had a bunch of GMBs tank in rankings. They didn't get suspended, but they tanked in rankings. And I had never cared about organic rankings for my lead gen assets because we always generate leads through the maps pack, right? I mean, that's where all the leads come from. So I never cared about on-page stuff that much. But when I lost, I didn't lose, but when I had a whole bunch of like over 30 GMB locations that were lead gen stuff, they tanked in rankings, went from the 3-pack to average of position around 15. And I had a bunch of my own revenue dry up very, very quickly because of that. And so I kicked myself for not having kept up with on-page stuff and organic ranking, essentially. So I spent many months last year kind of, fine tuning the content on page and relearning how to rank stuff organically, which is in part kind of what laid the foundation for my link building business now. And so I tested a bunch of on-page tools, and that's how I got familiar with many of the tools that I just shared with you, except for Writer's End. That's the newest one, because I was actually the one in there doing that and learning how to use all of them. And then my blogger, who's been working for me since 2013, once I learned how to use all the tools, I created SOPs to train her how to use them. And then, I pawned off all of that work to her. In other words, I delegated it out to her. Once I learned how to use them, just good enough to where I was proficient with them, I developed SOPs in training and then said, here you go. Esther is her name. Can you learn how to do this in the next month? And she said, yeah. And then I gave her a raise and said, okay, you're going to take over all of this. And by the way, she's our project manager at Content Kings, which is our content business, because she's really good at all these tools. So all that to tell you, Buzz, that the reason why I don't have SOPs for new versions of it is because if you've been using it for long, you know that outranking continually upgrades and updates. And over the last few releases that they've released, it's significantly changed the functionality and everything else. So I don't keep up with that anymore because I have a blogger that I pay well to handle all of that. So no, I don't have a current SOP. And if I did, I wouldn't sell it separately anyways. It would be available in the mastermind and the mastermind only. Okay. And that's just because that's what my partners and I agreed several months ago, that's what we're doing from now on. We're not selling one-off training products. We might give something away, give training away in certain cases. But if you want like full training or comprehensive training or SOPs, and I develop a lot of SOPs that you have anybody has access to in our mastermind, you have to join the mastermind to get them. There's a reason for that. Okay. But you're welcome to come join, Buzz. I don't know what you would be willing to pay for that SOP, but if you came into our mastermind, I'm sure we could, there's lots of other SOPs in there that I think you would find valuable.